stars unfold upon this stage. So mark me and my helpful tips, nor page, and leave you not, or speak you not, in muttered tones, but note your exit paths anon, and leave you not to use the throne once our performance has begun. And you can heed my simple charge to attend us noiselessly. We, your life's joy, will enlarge, and there an intermission be. Now I my squawky beak close tight. In faith our trials will delight.
I remember, Adam, it was upon this fashion bequeathed to me by will, but poor 1,000 crowns. And as thou sayest, charge my brother on his blessing to breed me well. And there begins my sadness. My brother Jaques he keeps at school, and reports speak goldenly of his profit. For my part, he keeps me rustically at home. Or to speak more properly, stays me here at home unkept. For call you that keeping of a gentleman of my birth that differs not from the stalling of an ox? I, his brother, gain nothing under him but growth, for the which his animals on his dunghills are as bound to him as I. And besides, this nothing that he so plentifully gives me, and the something that nature gave me, his countenance seems to take from me, and as much as in him lies, mine's my gentility with my education. This is it, Adam, that grieves me. And the spirit of my father, which I think is within me, begins to mutiny against this servitude. I will no longer endure it, yet I know no wise remedy of how to avoid it.
Yonder comes my master, your brother.
Now, sir, what make you here?
Nothing, sir. I am not taught to make anything.
Oh, what mar you then, sir?
Marry, sir, I'm helping you to mar that which God made. A poor, unworthy brother of yours with idleness.
Marry, sir, be better employed, and be not the while.
Shall I keep your hogs and eat husks with them?
Know you where you are, sir?
Oh, sir, very well, here in your orchard.
Know you before whom, sir?
Better than him I am before knows me. I know you are my eldest brother, and in the gentle condition of love, you should so know me. The courtesy of nations allows you my better, being that you are the firstborn. But the same tradition takes not away my blood. I have as much as my father in me as you.
Wilt thou lay hands on me, villain?
I am no villain. I am the youngest son of Sir Rowland de Boys. And wert thou not my brother, I would not take this hand from thy throat till the other had pulled out thy tongue for saying so.
Sweet master, speak faithfully for your father.
My father charged you in his will to give me good education. You have trained me like a peasant, hiding and obscuring from me all gentlemanlike qualities and the spirit of my father.
grow strong in me. I will no longer endure it. Therefore, allow me such exercises that may become a gentleman. Give me the poor lottery my father left me by testament. With that, I will go buy my fortune.
And what wilt thou do? Beg when that is spent? I will not long be troubled with you. You shall have some part of your will. Get you with him, you old dog!
Is old dog my reward? Most true I have lost my teeth in your service. God be with my old master, he would not say such a word.
Good morrow to your worship.
Oh, good Monsieur Charles. What's the new news at the new court?
The old duke is banished by his younger brother, the new duke, and 3 of 11 lords have put themselves into voluntary exile with him, whose lands and revenues enrich the new duke. Therefore, he gives them good leave to wander.
Can you tell if Rosalind, the duke's daughter, be banished with her father?
Oh no, for the duke's daughter, her cousin, so loves her, being ever from their cradles bred together, that she would have followed her exile or died to stay behind her. She is at the court and no less beloved of her uncle than his own daughter.
Where would the old duke live?
They say he is already in the forest of Audrey, and many merry men with him. They say many young gentlemen flock to him each day and fleet the time carelessly, as they did in the golden world.
Wrestle tomorrow before the new duke.
Marry do I, sir. And given, sir. Seek really to understand that your younger brother Orlando hath a disposition against me. I wrestle for my credit, and he that escapes me without some broken limb shall acquit him well. Your brother is but young and tender, and for your love, I for you to be low.
I tell thee, Charles, it is the stubbornest young fellow of France, full of ambition, a secret and villainous contriver against me, his natural brother. Therefore, use thy discretion. He will practice against thee by poison, entrap thee by some treacherous device, and never leave thee till he hath ta'en thy life by some indirect means or other. I had his leave, thou didst break his neck as his finger. And thou wert best look to it. There is not one so young and so villainous this day living.
I am partly glad I came hither to you. I will give him this paper. Keep your worship.
Farewell, good Charles. I hope I shall see an end of him. For my soul, yet I know not why, hates nothing more than he. Yet he's gentle, never schooled and yet learned, full of noble device, and indeed so much in the heart of my own people, who best know him, that I am altogether misprized. But it shall not be so long. This wrestler shall clear all.
Rosalind, sweet my cause be merry. Dear Celia, I shall murmur and I am mistress of, and would you yet ever marry her? Unless you could teach me to forget a banished father.
You know my father hath no child but I, nor none is like to have. And truly, when he dies, thou shalt be his heir. For what he hath taken away from thy father before us, I will render thee again in affection. By mine honor I will. And when I break that oath, let me turn monster. Therefore, my sweet Rose, my dear Rose, be merry.
What shall be our sport then?
How now, wit? What the one to you?
Mistress, you must come away to your father.
Were you made messenger?
No, provide mine honor. But I was bid to come for you. Ah, Monsieur Lapeau! What's the news?
Fair princess, you have lost much good sport.
Sport of what color?
I will tell you the beginning, and if it pleases your ladyships, you may see the end, for the best is yet to do.
Well, the beginning, that is dead and buried.
There comes an old man with 3 sons.
I could match this beginning with an old tale.
3 proper young men of excellent growth and presence. The eldest have wrestled with Charles, the Duke's wrestler, and Charles in a moment threw him and broke 3 of his ribs. That there is little hope of life in him. So he served the second, and so the third. Yonder they lie, the poor old man, their father, making such pitiful dole over them, that all the beholders take his part with weeping.
Alas.
But what is the sport?
Why, this that I speak of.
Well, thus men may grow wiser every day. It is the first that ever I heard the breaking of ribs was sport for ladies.
Or I promise thee.
But is there any else that longs to see this broken music in his sides? Is there yet another that dotes upon rib breaking? Shall we see this wrestling, cousin?
They're ready to perform it.
Let us now stay and see it.
How now, daughter? Cousin, are you quick telling to see the wrestling?
Aye, my liege, so please you give us leave.
We'll take little delight in it. Tell you, there's such odds in this man. The challengers to youth, I would fain dissuade them, but he will not be entreated. Speak to him, lady. See if you can move him.
Young man, have you challenged Charles the wrestler?
Young, gentle man. Your spirits are too bold for your years. We pray you, for your own sake, to embrace your own safety and give over this attempt.
Do, young sir, your reputation shall therefore not be misprized. We'll make it our suit to the Duke that the wrestling might not go forward.
I beseech you, punish me not with your hard thoughts, wherein I confess me much guilty to deny so fair and excellent ladies anything. But let your fair eyes and gentle wishes go with me to my trials, wherein if I be foiled, there is but one shamed that was never gracious. If killed, but one dead that is willing to be so. I shall do my friends no wrong, for I have none to lament me. The world no injury, for in it I have nothing. Only in the world do I take up a place, maybe better supplied when I have made it empty.
The little strength I had, I would it were with you.
And mine, to echo hers.
Very well.
Come! Come! Where is this young gallant who is so desirous to lie with his mother earth?
Here, sir!
You'll try but one fall.
No. I warned you, Grace. You shall not entreat him to a second that so mightily persuaded him from a first.
You mean to mock me after? You should not have mocked me before, but come your ways.
Now Hercules be thy speed, young man.
I would I were invisible to catch the strong fellow by the leg. Gentlemen.
Begin.
the youngest son of Sir Roland de Boyce.
I would thou hadst been some son to some man else, but were esteem thy father honorable. I still did find my enemy. Thou shouldst but have praised me with this deed, hadst thou sinned from another house.
My father loved Sir Roland as his soul, and all the world was of my father's mind. Had I known this man his son, I should have given him tears unto entreaties ere he thus should have ventured.
Gentle cousin, my father's rough and envious disposition sticks me at heart. Sir, you have well deserved.
Gentlemen, wear this for me. One out of suits with fortune that could give, but that hand means. Shall we go, cuz?
Aye, fare you well, fair gentlemen.
Can I not say I thank you?
Did you call, sir? Sir, you have wrestled well and overthrown more than your enemies.
Will you go, cuz?
Have with you! Fare you well.
What passion hangs weights upon my tongue? She urges me conference, and I cannot speak to her. Oh, Orlando. Ah, thou art overthrown.
Oh. Oh. Yes, sir. Oh. I do in friendship counsel you to leave this place. Albeit, you have deserved high commendation, true applause, and love. But yet such is now the Duke's condition that he misconstrues all that you have done.
I thank you. And pray you tell me this. Which of the two was daughter to the Duke, that here was at the wrestling?
Oh, neither is his daughter, if we judge by manners. But yet indeed the lesser is his daughter. The other is daughter to the banished Duke, and here detained by her usurpant uncle to keep his daughter company, whose loves are dearer than the natural bond of sisters. But I can tell you that of late, the Duke have taken displeasure against his gentle niece, granted upon no other argument, but that the people praise her for her virtues and pity her for her poor father's sake. And, on my life, his malice against the lady will suddenly break forth. Sir, fare you well. Hereafter in a world such as this, I shall desire more love and knowledge of you.
I rest much bounden unto you. Fare you well.
Oh.
Thus must I, from smoke into the smeller, from tyrant Duke to tyrant brother. Oh, but heavenly. Rosalind. Huh.
Oh, why, Rosalind? Oh, Cupid have mercy. Not a word?
Not one to throw at a dog.
But is all this for your father?
No, some of it's for my child's father.
Oh, go! I feel that affection.
No, they take part of a better wrestler than myself.
Oh, good wish upon you. You will try in time in despite of a fall. But turning these jests out of service, let us talk in good earnest. Is it possible on such a sudden you should fall into so strong a liking with old Sir Roland's youngest son?
The Duke, my father, loved his father dearly.
Thought that therefore ensue you should love his son dearly? By this kind of trait, I should hate him. For my father hated his father dearly. Yet I hate not Orlando.
Mistress, dispatch you with your safest haste and get you from our court.
Me, uncle.
You, cousin, if best found so near our public court as 20 miles, thou diest for it.
I do beseech your grace, let me the knowledge of my fault bear with me. If with myself I hold intelligence or have acquaintance with mine own desires, if that I do not dream or be not frantic, as I trust that I am not, then, dear uncle, never so much as in a thought unborn did I offend your highness.
Thus do all traitors. Let it suffice thee, I trust thee not.
Yet your mistrust cannot make me a traitor. Tell me whereon the likelihood depends.
Thou art thy father's daughter, that's enough.
So was I when your highness took his dukedom. So was I when your highness banished him. Treason is not inherited, my lord, or if we did derive it from our friends, what's that to me? My father was no traitor. And good, my liege, mistake me not so much to think my poverty is treacherous.
Dear sovereign, hear me speak.
I, Celia, would stay there for your sake, else had she with her father ranged along.
I did not then entreat to have her stay. It was your pleasure and your own remorse. I was too young that time to value her. But now I know her. If she be a traitor, so am I. We still have slept together, rose at an instant, learned, played, eat together, and wheresoever we went like Juno's swans, and still we went coupled and inseparable.
She's too subtle for thee. Her smoothness, her very silence and patience speak to the people, and they pity her. Thou art a fool. She robs thee of thy name. Thou seem more bright and seem more virtuous when she is gone. Then now open thy lips. Firm and irrevocable is my doom, which I had passed upon her. She's banished.
Pronounce that sentence then on me, my liege. I cannot live under my company.
Art a fool. You, niece, provide yourself. If you outstay the time upon the greatness upon my word and my honor, you die.
Oh, my poor Rosalind! Whither wilt thou go? Prithee be cheerful. Knowest thou not the Duke hath banished me his daughter?
That he hath not?
No, hath not. Rosalind lacks then a love, but teaches thee that thou and I are one. Shall we be sundered? Shall we part, sweet girl? No. Let my father sing another air! Therefore, devise with me how we may fly, whether to go and what to bear with us. And do not seek to take your change upon you. To bear you grease yourself and leave me out. For by this heaven, now what our sorrows pale, sayest what thou can, I'll go along with thee.
Why, whither shall we go?
To seek my uncle in the forest of Arden.
Alas, what danger will it be to us maids as we are to travel forth so far? Beauty provoketh thieves sooner than gold.
I'll put myself in poor and mean attire with a kind of umber smirch my face. The like do you, so shall we pass along and never stir assailants.
Were it not better that I did suit me all points like a man?
What shall I call thee when thou art a man?
I'll have no worse a name than Jove's own page, therefore look you call me Ganymede. But what will you be called?
Something that hath a reference to my state. No longer Celia, but Aliena.
But cousin, what if we essayed to steal the clownish fool from your father's court? Would he not be a comfort to our travels?
Oh, he'll go along the wide world with me. Leave me alone to woo him. Let's away and get our jewels and our wealth together. Devise the fittest time and safest way to hide us for pursuit. That will be made after my flight. Now go and be content to liberty, and not to banishment.
Now, my brothers and co-mates in exile, hath not old custom made this life more sweet than that of painted pop? Are not these woods more free of peril than that of the envious court? Here we feel but the penalty of Adam, the season's difference as the icy fang and churlish chiding of winter's wind, which, when it bites and blows upon my body, even till I shrink with cold, I smile and say, this is no flattery. These are but counselors that feelingly persuade me what I am. Sweet are the uses of adversity, which like the toad, ugly and venomous, wears but a precious jewel upon his head. And this our life exempt from public haunt finds tongues in the trees, books in the running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything. I would not change it. Come, shall we go and kill us venison? And yet it irks me the poor devil. Being native burghers of this distant city should in their own confines with fortes find the round paunches boar.
Indeed, my lord, the melancholy Jaques grieves at that, and in that kind swears that you do more usurp than doth your brother who hath banished you. Today, I stole behind him as he lay along the brook that brawls along this wood, to the which place a poor sequestered stag that at the hunter's aim had taken a herd. He did come to language, and the big round tears
said Jaques, did he not moralize in the spectacle?
Oh, yes, into 1,000 similes. Poor dear, quoth he. Thus misery doth part the blithesome company. Anon, a careless herd full of the pasture jumps along by him and never stays to greet him. Ay, quoth Jaques, sweep on, you fat and greasy citizens! Wherefore do you look upon the poor and broken bankrupt there? Thus most invectively he pierceth through the body of the country city court, yea, and of this our lives, swearing that we are mere usurpers, tyrants, and what's worse, to fright the animals and to kill them in their assigned and native dwelling place.
Did you leave him in this contemplation?
We did, my lord, weeping and commenting upon the sobbing deer.
Show me the place. I love to cope him in these sullen fits, for then he's full of matter.
I'll bring you to him straight.
Do you mean that no man saw me?
My lord, the varnished clown at whom so oft your grace was wont to laugh at is also missing. Hesperia, the princess's gentlewoman, confesses that she secretly overheard your daughter and her cousin much command the parts and graces of the wrestler that did but lately foil the sinewy Charles. And she believes, wherever they follow, that youth is surely in their company.
Finds his brother. Do this suddenly, and let not search and inquisition fail to bring again these foolish runaways.
Who's there?
Oh, my sweet master! Oh, you memory of old Sir Rowland!
What make you here? Your praises come too swiftly home before you. Know you not, sir, that some men's graces serve them but as enemies? Oh, what a world is this when what is comely envenoms him that bears it?
Why, what's the matter?
Oh, unhappy youth! Come not within these doors, within this roof! The enemy of your grace lives! Your brother! No, no brother. Yet the son, yet not the son of him I was about to call his father, hath heard your praises, and this night he means to burn down the lodging where you used to lie, with you in it. This house is but a butchery. Abhor it. Fear it. Do not enter it.
Why, whither, Adam, wouldst thou have me go?
No matter whither, sir, you not come here.
And what? Wouldst thou have me beg for my food? Or with a base and boisterous sword enforce a thievish living on the common road? I will rather subject me to the malice of a diverted blood and bloody brother!
Do not so! I have 500 crowns, the thrifty hire which I did save under your father, which I stored to be my fosterner's. When service should in my old limbs lie lame and unregarded age and cornerstone, and all this I give you. Let me be your servant. Though I look old, yet I am strong and lusty. Let me go. I'll do the service of a younger man in all your business and necessities.
Oh, good old man, how well in thee appears the constant service of the antique world, where service sweat for duty, not for meed, or not for the fashion of these times, and none will sweat but for promotion. But poor old man, thou prunest a rotten tree that cannot so much as a blossom yield, in lieu of all thy pains and husbandries. Come thy ways. We'll tarry on together ere we'll have thy youthful wages spent. We'll light upon some settled low content.
Master, go on, and I will follow thee to the last gasp with truth and loyalty. From 17 years till now almost 80. Here I lived, but now live here no more. At 17 years many their fortunes seek, but at 80 it is too late a week.
Oh, Jupiter, how weary are my spirits!
Oh, I care not for my spirits if my legs were not weary.
I can find it in my heart to disgrace my man's apparel and cry like a woman. But I must comfort the weaker vessel, therefore courage, good Aliena.
I pray you, help me! I cannot go no further!
For my part, I'd rather bear with you than bear you.
Well, this is the forest of Arden.
Aye, now am I in Arden. The more fool I, a better place. But
Travelers must be content.
Look, you young man with old and solemn talk.
That is the way to make her serious.
Oh, Corin, that thou knowest how I do love her.
I partly guess, but I have loved air now.
No, Corin, being old, thou canst not guess. Though in thy youth thou wast as true lover as ever did sigh upon a midnight pillow. But if thy love were ever like to mine, assure I think did never man love so. How many actions most ridiculous hast thou been drawn to by thy fantasy?
And to 1,000 that I have forgotten.
How didst thou never love so heartily? If thou rememberest not the slightest folly which love did make thee run into, thou hast not loved. Or if thou wast not sad as I do now, wearing thy hero and thy mistress' praise, thou hast not loved. Or if thou hast not broke from company abruptly as my passion now makes me, thou hast not loved. Oh, Phoebe, 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 Phoebe! Phoebe!
Alas, poor shepherd, searching of thy wound, I have by hard adventure found mine own.
and I mine. I remember when I was in love. We that are true lovers run into strange capers. But as all is mortal in nature, so is all nature in love mortal in folly.
Thou speakest wiser than thou art aware of.
Nay, I shall never wear a madam wit till I break my shins against it.
Jove, Jove, this shepherd's passion is much upon my fashion.
And mine, but it grows something stale with me.
I pray you, one of you question yon man, if for gold will he give us any food? I faint almost to death.
Allah, you clown!
This fool is not thy kinsman.
Who calls?
Your betters, sir.
Else they very wretched.
Peace, I said. Good evening to you, friend.
And to you, gentle sir, and to you all.
I pray, shepherd, if it's dead, with honesty, tell us that if love or gold can in this desert place buy entertainment, here is a maid would travel much oppressed and Taystra.
Fair sir, I pity her. And wish for her sake more than mine own, my fortunes were more able to relieve her. But I am shepherd to another man, and do not share the feasts that I raise. My master is of churlish disposition, and little reeks to find a way to heaven by doing good deeds of hospitality. Besides, his coat, his flock, and bounds of fed are now on sale. And as I should go now, there's nothing that she won't buy but what is. Come see.
I pray thee, buy now the cottage, the pasture, and the flock, and thou shalt have to pay for it of us.
And we will mend thy wages. I like this place, and willingly could waste my time in it.
Assuredly the thing is to be sold. Go with me. If you like upon report the soil you, the profit, and this kind of life, I will your very faithful feeder be, and buy it with your gold right suddenly.
sing?
More at your request than to please myself.
Well, if ever I thank any man, I'll thank you. But that they call compliment is like the encounter of two dog apes. Come, warble, come. I'll go to sleep if I can. If I cannot, I'll rail against all the firstborn of Egypt.
And I'll go seek the Duke.
Dear master, I could go no further. Oh, how I died for food. Here I lie out and measure my grave.
Now, Adam!
Master.
No greater heart in thee? Live a little. Comfort a little. Cheer thyself a little. If in this uncouth forest there live anything savage, I will either be food for it or bring it back for food to thee. Thy conceit is nearer death than thy powers. For my sake, be comfortable. Hold death a while at arm's end. I will here be with thee presently. And if I bring thee not something to eat, I will give thee leave to die. But if you die before I come, you are the mocker of my labors. I will be with thee quickly. If thou liest in bleak air. Come. Come. I will bring you to some shelter, and you shall not die for lack of dinner. There live anything in this desert.
Why, now, monsieur, you look merrily.
A fool, a fool. I met a fool in the forest. A motley fool, a miserable world. As I do live by food, I met a fool who laid him down and basked him in the sun. Good morrow, fool, quoth I. No, sir, quoth he. Call me not fool till heaven hath sent me fortune. And then he drew a dial from his poke, and looking on it with lackluster eyes, says very wisely, "It is 10 o'clock. Thus may we see," quoth he, "how the world wags. 'Tis but an hour ago since it was 9, and after 1 hour more 'twill be 11, and so from hour to hour we ripe, and then from hour to hour we rot, and thereby hangs a tale. When I did hear the motley fool thus moral on the time, my lungs began to crow like a canticleer, that fools should be so deep contemplative. And I did laugh. Sans intermission an hour by his dial. O noble fool.
What fool is this?
O worthy fool. One that hath been a courtier, and said if ladies be but young and fair, they have the gift to know it. And in his brain, which is as dry as the remainder biscuit after a voyage, he hath strange places crammed with observation, the which events in mangled forms. Oh, that I were a fool! I am ambitious for a motley coat.
Thou shalt have one.
It is my only suit, provided you read your better judgments of all opinions that grow rank in them, that I am wise. I must have liberty withal, as large a charter as the wind to blow on whom I please, for so fools have. Invest me in my motley. Give me leave to speak my mind, and I will, through and through, cleanse the foul body of the infected world, that they will patiently receive my medicine.
Fie on thee. I can tell what thou wouldst do.
What for a counter would I do but good?
Most mischievous foul sin, chiding sin, for thou thyself hast been a libertine, as sensual as the brutish thing itself. Oh, and all the embossed sores and headed evils that thou with license of free foot hast caught, wouldst thou disgorge into the general world?
Why, who can cry out on pride that can therein tax any private party? Doth it not flow as hugely as the sea, until the weary very means do ebb? What woman in the city do I name, when that the city woman bears the cost of princes on unworthy shoulders? Who can come in and say that I mean her, when such a one as she, such as her neighbor?
Forbear, and eat no more!
Why, I have eaten none yet.
Nor shall not till necessity be served.
Of what kind should this cock come of?
Art thou thus folded, man, by thy distress, or else a rude despiser of good manners? Then in civility thou seemst so empty.
You touched my vein at first. The thorny point of bare distress attained from me the show of smooth civility. But forbear, I say, he dies that touches any of this fruit till I and my affairs be answered.
And you will not be answered with reason. I must die.
What would you have? Your gentleness shall force more than your force move us to gentleness.
I almost die for food, and let me have it.
Sit down with me, and welcome to our table.
Speak you so gently. Pardon me, I pray you. I had thought all things had been savage here, and therefore put on the countenance of a stern commandment. If ever you have looked on better days, if ever you have been where bells have knolled to church, if ever from your eyelids wiped a tear, and know what 'tis to pity and be pitied, let gentleness my strong enforcement be, into which hopes I blush and hide my sword.
Sit you down in gentleness. What help we have that to your wanting may be ministered?
There is a poor old man, who after me hath many a weary step limped in pure love, till he be first sufficed, oppressed with 2 weak evils, age and hunger. I will not touch a bit.
Go find him out, and we will nothing waste until your return.
I thank ye, and be blessed for your good comfort.
Thou seest, we are not all alone unhappy. This wide and universal theater presents more woeful pageants than the scene where we play in.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first the infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms. Then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail unwillingly to school. And then the lover, sighing like furnace with a woeful ballad made to his mistress' eyebrow. Then a soldier, full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice in fair round belly, with good cape and line, with eyes severe and beard of formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The 6th age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big, manly voice turning again toward childish treble pipes and whistles in his sound. Last scene of all, which ends this strange, eventful history. Second childishness and mere oblivion. Song's teeth, song's eyes, song's taste, song's everything.
Welcome. Sit down, your venerable burden, and let him be.
I thank you most for him.
So you had me. I scarce can speak to thank you for myself. Truly welcome hither.
I am the Duke that loved your father. Good old man, thou art right welcome as thy master is. Support him by the arm. Give me your hand. let me all your fortunes understand.
Not seen him since? Oh! Sir! Sir! That cannot be! Find not thy brother, wherever so he is. Seek him with a candle. Bring him dead or living. Thy lands and all things that dost call thine, worth seizure do we seize into our hands, till thou canst quit thee by thy brother's mouth of what we think against thee.
No, I never loved my brother in all my life.
More villain thou. Well, push him out of doors.
No, please, Duke. No, no!
Let my officers, such of a nature, make an extent upon his house and lands. Do this expediently. Turn him going.
I'm there by verse in witness of my love. My first crown, queen of night survey. With thy chaste side, and thy pale sphere above. Thy huntress name, that my full life doth sway. Oh, Rosalind, these trees shall be my books, and in their barks my thoughts all character, that every eye which in this forest looks shall see thy virtue witnessed everywhere. Yeah. Run, no, hang on every tree, the fair, the chaste, unexpressive she.
And how about the shepherd's life, Master Touchstone?
Truly, shepherd, in respect of itself, it is a good life. But in respect it is a shepherd's life, it is not. In respect it is solitary, I like it very well, but in respect it is private, it is a very vile life. Now in respect it is in the fields, it pleaseth me well, but in respect it is not in the court, it is tedious. Hast any philosophy in thee, shepherd?
No more but that I know the more one sickens, the worse at ease he is. And he that wants money, means, and content is without three good fronts. That the property of rain is to wet and fire to burn. That good pasture makes fat sheep. That a great cause of night is the lack of sun.
Ooh, a natural philosopher. Wast ever in court, shepherd?
No, truly.
Then thou art damned.
Nay, I hope.
Truly thou art damned like an ill-roasted egg, all on one side.
For not being at court. Your reason.
Why, if thou never wast at court, then thou never sawest good manners. And if thou never sawest good manners, then thy manners must be wicked. And wickedness is sin. And sin is damnation. Thou art an upon estate, shepherd.
Not the wit Touchstone. Those that are good manners at the court are as ridiculous in the country as the behavior in the country is most mockable at the court. You told me you salute not to the court, but you kiss your hands. That courtesy would be uncleanly if courtiers were shepherds.
Instance. Briefly come. Instance.
Why, we are still handling our ewes and their fellows, you know, are greasy.
Why do not your courtiers' hands sweat? And is not the grease of a mutton as wholesome as the sweat of a man? Shallow, shallow! A better instance, I say. Come.
And they are hard.
Your lips will feel them the sooner. Shallow again! A more sounder instance, I say. Come.
And they are often tarred over with the surgery of our sheep. And would you have us kiss tar? The courtier's hands are perfumed with civet,
Oh, most shallow man. Thou worm's meat in respect of a good piece of flesh indeed. Learn of the wise, and prepend. Civet is of a baser birth than tar, the very uncleanly flux of a cat. Mend the instant, shepherd.
You went too courtly away from me. I'll rest.
Wilt thou rest dead? God help thee, shallow man. God make incision in thee. Thou art raw.
Sir, I am a true laborer. I earn that I eat, get that I wear, owe no man hate, envy no man's happiness, glad of other man's good. And my greatest pride is to see my ewes graze and my lambs suck.
Oh, that is another simple sin in you, to bring the ewes and the rams together, and to offer to get your living by the copulation of cattle.
Here comes young Master Kenny, my new mistress's brother.
Oh, come.
From the east to western Ind, no jewel is like Rosalind. Her work being mounted on the wind, through all the world bears Rosalind. All the pictures fairest lined are but black to Rosalind. Let no fair be kept in mind, but the fair of Rosalind.
If a heart do lack a hind, let him seek out Rosalind. If the cat will after kind, so be shown the Rosalind. Sweetest nut, but sourest rind, such a nut is Rosalind. He that sweetest rose refined will find love's prick and Rosalind. This is the very false scallop of verses. Why do you infect yourself with them?
Peace, you fool, I found them on a tree.
Truly the tree yields bad fruit.
Here comes my sister reading. Stand us up.
Why should this a desert be? For it unpeople? No. Tongues I'll hang on every tree. That's how simple sayings show. Some, how brief the life of man runs his erring pilgrimage. That the stretching of a span buckles in his sum of age. Some of violated vows. Twixt the souls of friend and friend, but upon the fairest vows. Or, at every sentence end, will I, Rosalind, know right. Teaching all that breed to know, the quintessence of every sprite, heaven would in little show.
Oh, most gentle Jupiter, have you never wearied your parishioners with all and cried, have patience, good people?
How now, I'm back, friends? Shepherd, go off a little. Go with him, Sirrah.
Oh, come, shepherd, let us make an honorable retreat, though not with bag and baggage, yet with scrip and scrippage.
Ooh, didst thou hear these verses?
Oh, yes, and more too, for some of them had in them more feet than the verses would bear.
Oh, that's no matter. The feet might bear the verses.
Aye, but the feet were lame and could not bear themselves without the verse, and therefore stood lamely in the verse.
But didst thou hear without wondering how thy name should be hanged and carved upon these trees? Know you who have done this?
Is it a man?
And a chain that you once wore about his neck. Ooh, change your color?
I prithee who?
Oh, Lord.
Nay, who is it?
Is it possible?
Nay, I prithee who? Petitionary demons, tell me who it is.
Ah, wonderful. It is young Orlando that tripped up the restless heels and your heart both in an instant.
Orlando? Alas, the day. What should I do with my doublet hose? What did he when thou sawest him? What said he? How looked he? Where went he? What makes him here? Where remains he? How parted he with thee? And when shalt thou see him again? Answer me in one word.
I found him under a tree. Like a dropped acorn.
Oh, it may as well be called Jove's tree if it gives forth such fruit.
Give the audience, good madam. There, lady, stretched along like a wounded knight.
Oh, be a pity to see such a sight. It well becomes the ground.
Cry halal to the tongue, I prithee. It curvets unseasonably. He was furnished like a hunter.
Oh, ominous, he comes to kill my heart.
I would say
had I. But for fashion's sake, I thank you too for your society.
God buy you. Let's meet as little as we can.
I do desire we be better strangers.
I pray you mar no more trees with writing love songs in their barks.
I pray you mar no more of my verses by reading them ill-favoredly. To whom I know most faults.
The worst fault you have is to be in love.
Oh, 'tis a fault I will not change for your best virtue.
By my troth, I was seeking for a fool when I found you.
He's drowned in the brook. Look but in, you shall see him.
There I shall see mine own figure.
Which I take to either be a fool or a cipher. I am weary of you.
I'll tarry no longer with you.
Adieu, Monsieur Melancholy.
Farewell, good Signor Love.
Oh.
I'll speak to him like a saucy lackey, and under that habit play the knave with him. Do you hear, Forster?
Very well. What would you?
I pray you, what's the clock?
You should ask me what time of day. There are no clocks in a forest.
Then there's no true lover in the forest. Else sighing every minute and groaning every hour would detect the lazy foot of time as well as a clock.
And why not the swift foot of time? Had that not been as proper.
By no means, sir. Time travels in diverse paces with diverse persons. I'll tell you who time ambles withal, who time trots withal, who time gallops withal, and he that stands still.
I pray thee, who doth he trot withal?
Married, he trots hard with a young maid between the contract of her marriage and the day it is solemnized. If in the interim be but a say night, time's pace be so hard that it lasts the length of 7 years.
Where dwell you, pretty youth?
With this shepherdess, my sister, here in the skirts of the forest like fringe upon her petticoat.
Are you native of this place? Your accent seems something finer that could be purchased and so removed a dwelling.
I've been told so by many, but indeed, an old religious uncle of mine taught me to speak. One who knew courtship too well, for there he fell in love. I've heard him read many lectures against it, and I thank God I'm not woman to be touched with so many giddy offenses that he hath generally taxed their whole sex withal.
Can you remember any of the principal evils he laid to the charge of women?
There were none principal. They were all like one another's halfpence are, one fault seeming monstrous till the next fault came to match it.
I pray thee recount some of them.
No, I will not cast my physic but on those that are sick. There's a man that haunts the forest. He abuses our young plants by carving Rosalind in their barks, hangs odes upon hawthorns and elegies on brambles, all forsooth to find the name Rosalind. If I could meet that fancy monger, I would give him some good counsel, for he seems to have the quotidian of love upon him.
I am that he that is so love-shaped.
There are none of mine uncle's marks upon you. He taught me how to know a man in love.
What were his marks?
A lean cheek, which you have not. A blue eye and sunken, which you have not. An unquestionable spirit, which you have not. A beard neglected, which you have not. Why then your hose should be unguarded, your bonnet unbanded, your sleeve unbuttoned, your shoe untied, and everything about you representing a careless desolation. But you are no such man. You are rather pointed device in your accoutrements, loving yourself and seeming the lover of any other.
Fair youth, I would I could make thee believe I love.
Me believe it. You must sooner make her that you love believe it.
I swear to the youth, by the white hand of Rosalind, I am that he. That unfortunate he.
But are you as in love as your rhymes speak?
No rhyme, no reason can express how much.
Love is merely a madness, and deserves as well a dark house and whip as madmen do. The reason that the whippers are not so punished is that the lunacy is so ordinary, the whippers are in love too. Yet I profess curing it by counsel.
Did you ever cure any so?
Yes. One. And in this manner he was to imagine me, his love, his mistress, at which time I, being but a moonish youth, would grieve, be effeminate, changeable, longing and liking, proud, fantastical, apish, shallow, inconstant, full of tears, full of smiles, first like him, then loathe him, then entertain him, and forswear him, then spit at him. And that drave my suitor from this living humor of love to a living humor of madness, which was to forswear the full stream of the world and to live in a nook merely monastic. And thus your liver as clean as a sound sheep's heart, so that there is not one spot of love in it.
I would not be so cured, youth.
I would cure you. If you will but come to me every day and call me Rosalind.
Now, by the faith of my love, I will.
Go with me to it, and I'll show it to you. And by the way, you shall tell me where in the forest you live. Will you go?
With all my heart, good youth.
Nay! You must call me Rosalind. Come, sister, will you go?
Come apace, good Audrey. I will fetch up your goats, Audrey. And how, Audrey? Am I the man yet? Doth my simple feature content you?
Your features, Lord warn us. What features?
I am here with thee and thy goats. As the most capricious poet, honest Ovid was among the Goths. Truly, I would the gods have made thee poetical.
I do not know what poetical is. Is it honest indeed in word? Is it true thing?
No, truly, for the truest poetry is the most feigning, and lovers are given to poetry. What they swear in poetry may be said as lovers, they do feign.
Do you wish then that the gods have made me poetical?
I do truly, for thou swearest to me thou art honest. Now, if thou wert a poet, I might have some hope thou didst feign.
Would you not have me honest?
No, truly. Unless thou wert hard favored, for honesty coupled to beauty is to have honey a sauce to sugar.
Well, I am not fair. God make me honest.
Truly, and to cast away honesty upon a foul slut would have put good meat into an unclean dish.
I am not a slut. So I thank the gods I am foul.
Oh, praise be the gods for thy foulness. Sluttishness may come hereafter. But, be it as it may be, I will marry thee. Yay! And to that end, I have been with the vicar of the next village who hath promised to meet me in this place of the forest and to couple us.
I would fain see this meeting.
Well, the gods give us joy.
Amen. Courage! As horns are odious, they are necessary. Ah, you are well met. Will you dispatch us here under this tree, or shall we go with you to your chapel?
Well, is there none here to give the woman?
I will not take her on gift of any man.
Surely she must be given, or else the marriage is unlawful.
Proceed, proceed. I'll give her.
Oh, good evening, good monsieur. What's your call? How do you do, sir? You are very well met. Got ill to for your last company. Even a toy in hand here, sir. No, pray be covered.
Will you be married, Motley?
As the ox hath his bow, sir, the horse his curb, and the falcon her bells, so man hath his desires. And as pigeons build, so wedlock would be nibbling.
And will you, being a man of your breeding, be married under a bush like a beggar? Get you to church and have the good priest that can tell you what marriage is.
I am not in the mind, but I were better to be married of him than of another, for he is not like to marry me well. And not being well married, it will be a good excuse hereafter to leave my wife.
Go with me and let me counsel thee.
Come, sweet Audrey. We must be married. Or we must live in poverty.
No!
'Tis no matter. Never a fantastical knave them all shall flout me of my calling. Excuse me.
Never talk to me again, I will weep.
Do, I pray thee, but yet have the grace to consider that tears do not become a man.
But have I not cause to weep?
As good causes one would desire. Therefore weep.
But why did he swear he comes this morning and he comes not?
Nay, certainly there is no truth in him.
Do you think so? Not true in love?
Yes, when he is in, but I think he is not in.
But you've heard him swear downright he was.
Well, was is not is. Besides, the oath of a lover is no stronger than the words of a taster. They are both the confirmer of false reckonings. He attends here in the forest on the Duke, your father.
I met the Duke yesterday and had much question with him. He asked me of what parentage I was. I said as good as he, so he laughed and let me go. Oh, but what talk we of fathers when there's such a man as Orlando?
Oh, that's a brave man. He writes brave verses, speaks brave words, swears brave oaths, and breaks them bravely.
Mistress and master, you have often inquired after the shepherd who complained of love, who was sitting by me on the turf, praising the proud, disdainful shepherdess that was his mistress.
Well, and what of him?
If you will see a pageant, go into wild.
Oh, come, let us remove the sight of lovers' feet at those in love.
Sweet Phoebe, do not scorn me. Do not, Phoebe. Say that you love me now, but say not so in bitterness. Common executioner, whose heart the accustomed sight of death makes hard, falls not the axe upon the humbled neck, but first begs pardon. Will you sterner be than he that dies and lives by bloody drops?
I would not be thy executioner! I fly thee, for I would not injure thee!
Dear Phoebe, if ever that ever may be near you, find in some fresh cheek the power of fancy. Then shall you know the wounds invisible that love's keen arrows make.
But till that time comes, come not, don't near me! And when that time comes, afflict me with thy mouth's pity me not! Until that time I shall not pity thee!
And why? I pray you. Who might be your mother that insults, exults, and all at once over the wretched? What, though you have no beauty, I see no more in you that without candle may go dark to bed. Why look you so on me? Odds my little life, I think she means to tangle my eye too. No! Faith, proud mistress, hope not after it. 'Tis not your inky eyebrows, your black silk hair, your bugle eyeballs, nor your cheek of cream that can attain your spirits to my worship. You, foolish shepherd, wherefore do you follow her? You are 1,000 times a properer man than she is woman. 'Tis such fools as you that makes the world full of ill-favored children. 'Tis not your glass but you that flatters her. But mistress, know yourself. Down on your knees and thank heaven fasting for good man's love. For I must tell you, friendly in your ear, sell when you can, you are not for all markets. Cry the man mercy, love him, take his offer.
Sweet you, chide a year together, I would rather hear you chide than hear this man woo.
He's fallen in love with your foulness, and she'll fall in love with my anger. Why look you so on me?
For no ill will I bear you.
I pray you, do not fall in love with me. I am falser than vows made in wine. Besides, I like you.
Oh, God.
Not.
Dead shepherd, now I saw thy spoke of might. Whoever loved, if not loved at first sight.
Sweet Phoebe,
What sayest thou, Silvius?
sweet Phoebe, pity me.
I do feel sorry for thee, gentle Silvius.
sorrow his relief would be. You do sorrow at my grief and love by giving love. Your sorrow and my grief were both extermined.
Thou hast my love, Silvius. Is not that neighborly?
I would have you.
Knowest thou you spoke to me ere while?
Not very well. Oh, but I have met him oft. And he has bought the cottage in the bounds of the old Carla was once master of.
Think not I love him, though I ask for him. 'Tis but a peevish boy! Yet he talks well. But what care I for words? Yet words do well when he that speaks them pleases those that hear. It is a pretty youth. Not very pretty! Although there was a pretty redness in his lip, a little brighter and more lusty red than that mixed within his cheek. It was just the difference between the concert red and the middle darkness. I love him not, nor hate him not. And yet I have more cause to hate him than to love him. For what had he to do to chide at me? He said that my eyes were black and my hair black, and now I have remembered scorned at me. And I marvel why I answered not again. But that's all one. I will write to him a very taunting letter, and thou shalt bear it. Wilt thou, Silvius?
Phoebe, with all my heart.
I'll write it straight the matters. In my head and in my heart, I will be bitter with him and passing short. Go with it, Silvius.
I pray thee, pretty youth, let me better acquainted with thee.
They say you are a melancholy fellow.
I am so. I do love it better than laughing.
Those that are in the extremity of either are abominable fellows, and betray them to every modern censure, worse than drunkards.
Why, 'tis good to be sad and say nothing.
Why then 'tis good to be opposed.
I have neither the scholar's melancholy, which is emulation, nor the musician's, which is fantastical, nor the courtier's, which is proud, nor the soldier's, which is ambitious, nor the lawyer's, which is politic, nor the lady's, which is nice, nor the lover's, which is all of these. But it is a melancholy of mine own, compounded of many symbols, extracted from many objects, and indeed the sundry contemplation of my travels, in which by often rumination wraps me in a most humorous sadness.
Traveler, by my faith you have great reason to be sad. I fear you have sold your lands to see other men's, and to have seen much and to have nothing is to have rich eyes and poor hands.
Yes, I have gained my experience.
Your experience makes you sad. I'd rather have a fool to make me merry than experience to make me sad. I travel for it too.
Ah, good day, and happiness, dear Rosalind.
Nay, God buy you. And you talk in blank verse.
Why? How now, Orlando? Where have you been all this while? You, a lover, and you serve me yet another trick. Never come in my sight more.
My fair Rosalind, I come within an hour of my time.
Break an hour's promise in love? He that will divide a minute into 1,000 parts and break but 1,000th part of that minute in the affairs of love? It may be said that Cupid hath clapped him o'er the shoulder, but I'll warrant him heart whole.
Pardon me, dear Rosalind.
Nay, and you be so tardy, never come in my sight more. I had his leaf be wooed of a snail.
Of a snail?
Aye, of a snail. For though he travels slowly, he carries his house on his head. A better jointure than you make a woman. Besides, he brings his destiny with him.
What's that?
Why, horns, which such you are fain to be beholding your wives for. But he comes armed in his fortune and prevents the slander of his wife.
Virtue is no hornmaker, and my Rosalind is virtuous.
And I am your Rosalind.
It pleases him to call you so, but he hath a Rosalind of a better lid than you.
Come, woo me, for I am in a holiday humor and like to consent. What would you say to me now, and I were your very, very Rosalind?
I would kiss before I spoke.
Nay, you better speak first. Am I not your Rosalind?
I take some joy to say that you are, because I would be talking of her.
Well, in her person I say I will not have you.
Then in my person, I die. have my right Rosalind of this mind, for I protest her frown might kill me.
By this hand will not kill a fly. Come, I will be your Rosalind in a more coming on disposition. Ask me what you will, I will grant it.
Then love me, Rosalind.
Yes, faith will I, Fridays and Saturdays and all.
And wilt thou have me?
Aye, and 20 such.
What sayest thou?
Are you not good?
I hope so.
But can one desire too much of a good thing? Come, sister, you shall be the priest and marry us. Give me your hand, Orlando. What say you, sister?
I pray thee marry us.
Can I say the words?
You must begin, will you, Orlando?
Oh, go to! Will you, Orlando, have to wife this Rosalind?
I will.
Aye, but when?
Why now, as fast as she can marry us.
Then you must say, I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I take thee, Rosalind, for wife.
I take thee, Orlando, for my husband. Now tell me how long you would have her after you possessed her.
Forever and a day.
Say a day without the other. No, Orlando. Men are April when they woo, December when they wed. Maids are May when they are maids, but the sky changes when they are wives. I will be more jealous of thee than Barbary cock pigeon over his hen. More clamorous than a parrot against rain, more newfangled than an ape, more giddy in my desires than a monkey. I will weep for nothing, like Diana in the fountain. And will do that when thou art disposed to be married. I will laugh like Hyene, and that when thou art inclined to sleep.
But will my Rosalind do so?
By my life, she will do as I do.
But she is wise.
Does he know? Or else she wouldn't have the wit to do this. The wiser, the waywarder. Open a door upon a woman's wit and it will out at the casement. Shut that out at the keyhole. Stop that 'twill fly like smoke out the chimney. Oh, that a woman cannot make her husband's fault her occasion. Let her never nurse her child herself, for she will breed it like a fool.
For these 2 hours, Rosalind, I will leave thee.
Alas, my love, I cannot lack thee 2 hours.
I must attend the Duke to dinner. By 2 o'clock, I will be with thee again.
You go your ways, go your ways. I know what you would prove. My friends told me as much. That flattering tongue of yours warned me. 2 o'clock is your hour?
Aye, sweet Rosalind.
If you break one jot of your promise, or come 1 minute behind your hour, I will think you the most pathetical break promise, the most hollow lover, and the most unworthy term that you call Rosalind that may be chosen out of the gross band of the unfaithful. Therefore, beware my censure, and keep your promise.
With no less religion, thou art indeed my Rosalind. So adieu.
Time is the old justice that examines all such offenders. And let time try.
You have simply misused our sex in your love prayer.
Oh, cuz, my pretty little cuz. Dost thou know how many fathom deep I am in love? It cannot be sounded. Hath an unknown bottom like the Bay of Portugal.
Or rather bottomless. And as fast as you pour affection in it, it runs out.
I'll tell thee, Aliena, I cannot be out of the sight of Orlando. Find a shadow inside till he comes.
And I'll sleep.
My errand is to you, fair youth.
My gentle Phoebe did bid me give you this. I know not the contents, but as I guess by the stern brow and waspish action which she did use in writing of it, it bears an angry tenure. Pardon me, I am but a guiltless messenger.
Patience herself would startle at this letter, and play the swaggerer. Odds my will, her love is not the hare that I do hunt. Well, shepherd? Well, this is a letter of your own device.
No, I protest as I know not the contents. Phoebe did write it.
Come, come, you're a fool and turned into the extremity of love. I say she never did invent this letter. This is a man's invention and his hand.
Sure it is hers.
So why choose a boisterous and cruel style, a style for challengers? Well, you hear the letter.
So please you, for I have not heard it yet. Yet heard too much of Phoebe's cruelty.
She Phoebe's me. Mark how the tyrant writes. Art thou God to shepherd turned, that a maiden's heart hath burned? Can a woman rail thus?
Call you this railing?
Why thy Godhead laid apart, warst thou with a woman's heart? Did you ever hear such railing? Whilst the eye of man did woo me, that could do no vengeance to me. Meaning me, a beast. Whilst you tried, I did love. How might then your prayers move? He that brings this love to me, little knows this love in me.
He that brings this love to thee, little knows this love in me. And by him seal up thy mind, whether that thy youth and kind will the faithful offer take of me and all that I can make, or else by him my love deny, and then I'll study how to die. Call you this chiding?
Oh, lass. Poor shepherd.
Do you pity him? No. No, he deserves no pity. Wilt thou love such a woman? Well, go your way to her. For I see, love hath made thee a tame snake. And tell her this, that if she love me, I charge her to love thee. I will not have her unless thou entreat for her. If you be a true lover, hence and not a word.
Pray you! If you know, where in the purlieus of this forest stands a sheepcote, fenced about with olive trees.
West of this place, down the neighbor bottom, the rank of osiers, by the murmuring stream. Left!
Oh.
On your right hand. Brings you to the place. But at this hour, the house doth keep itself. There's none within.
That an eye may profit by tongue. Then should I know you? Are not you the owner of the house I did inquire for? Whoa!
It's no boast. Being asked. To say that we are.
Orlando doth commend him to you both, and to that youth he calls his Rosalind. She sends this bloody napkin. Are you he?
I am. What must we understand by this?
Some of my shame. If you will know of me what man I am, and how and why and where this handkerchief was stained.
I pray you tell it.
When last the young Orlando parted from you, he left a promise to return again within an hour. And pacing through the forest, chewing the food of sweet and bitter fancy, lo, what befell? Well, he threw his eye aside, and mark, what object did present itself? Under an oak, a wretched, ragged man, o'ergrown with hair, lay sleeping on his back. Under a bush, a lioness lay couching, head on ground with cat-like watch, when that the sleeping man should stir. For 'tis the royal disposition of that beast to prey on nothing that doth seem as dead. In this scene, Orlando did approach the man, and found it was his brother, his elder brother. Twice did he turn his back in purpose so, but kindness, nobler ever than revenge, and nature, stronger than his just occasion, made him give battle to the lioness, who quickly fell before him, in which, hurtling from miserable slumber, I awaked.
Are you his brother?
Was you he rescued?
What's you that did so oft contrive to kill him?
'Twas I, but 'tis not I. Brief. I recovered him, bound up his wound, and, after some small space, being strong at heart, he sent me hither, stranger as I am, to tell this story, that you might excuse his broken promise, and to give this napkin, dyed in his blood, unto the shepherd youth that he in sport doth call his Rosalind.
Oh, what happened? Enemy, sweet enemy!
Many will swoon when they do look on blood.
Oh, there's more in it. Cousin Ganymede.
Look, he recovers.
Why would I were at home?
We'll lead you thither. I pray you, will you take him by the arm?
Be of good cheer, youth. You a man. You lack a man's heart.
Ay, sirrah, a body would think this was well counterfeited. I pray you, tell your brother how well I counterfeited. Hey-ho!
This was not counterfeit. There's too great testimony in your complexion that it was a passion of earnest.
Counterfeit, I assure you.
Oh, well then, take a good heart and counterfeit to be a man.
So do I, but of faith I should have been a woman by right.
Oh, come! You look paler and paler.
Oh.
We shall find a time, Audrey. Patience. Gentle Audrey.
Faith the priest was good enough for the old gentleman saying.
Audrey. There is a youth in the forest here lays claim to you.
He hath no interest in me in the world.
Oh, it is meat and drink to me to see a clown.
Oh. Good evening, Audrey.
Good evening, William.
Oh, and good evening to you, sir.
Good even, gentle friend. Cover thy head. Cover thy head. Cover. Prithee, be covered. How old are you, friend?
5 and 20, sir.
A ripe age. Is thy name William?
William, sir.
A fair name. Was born in the forest here.
Aye, sir, I thank God.
Thank God. Ooh, a good answer. Art rich?
Faith, sir, so-so.
So-so is good. Very good. Very excellent good, and yet it is not. It is but so-so. Art thou wise?
Aye, sir, I have a pretty wit.
This thou sayest well. I do now remember a saying, the fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool. You do love this maid?
Aye, sir, I do.
Give me your hand! Art thou learned?
No, sir.
Then learn this of me. To have is to have, for it is a figure in the rhetoric that drink when being poured from a cup. into a glass. By filling the one, doth empty the other. For all your writers do consent that Ipsy is he, but you are not Ipsy, for I am he.
Which he, sir?
He, sir, that must marry this woman. Therefore, you, clown, abandon, which is in the vulgar, leave, the society, which in the boorish is company, of this female, which in the common is woman, which together is abandon the society of this female, or clown, thou perishest, or to thy better understanding diest, or to wit I will kill thee, make thee away, translate thy life into death, thy liberty into bondage. I will deal in poison with thee, or in bastinado, or in steel. I will bang thee with the infection. I will overrun thee with policy. I will kill thee 150 ways. Therefore, tremble and depart.
Do good, William.
Oh. God rest ye, merry sir.
Tomorrow is the joyful day, Audrey. Tomorrow we will be married.
I do desire with all my heart, and I hope it's no honest desire to be a woman of the world.
Woo! Trip, Audrey! I attend!
Is it possible that on so little acquaintance you should like her? That but seeing you should love her, and loving she should woo, and wooing you should grunt.
And you should perceive to enjoy her. Neither call the giddiness of it in question, the poverty of her, the small acquaintance, my sudden wooing, nor her sudden consenting. But say with me, I love Angelina. Say with her that she loves me, consent with both that we might enjoy each other. Shall be to your good. For my father's house, and all the revenue that was old Sir Roland's will, I state upon you. And here, live and die, a shepherd. You have my consent.
Let your wedding be tomorrow. There. I will invite the Duke and all contented followers. Now go, you. Prepare Aliena. But look you, here comes my Rosalind.
God save you, brother.
And you, fair sister.
Woo! Orlando, how it grieves me to see thee wear thy heart in a scarf.
It is my arm.
It's not thy heart has been wounded with the claws of a lion.
Wounded it is, but with the eyes of a lady.
Did your brother tell you how I counterfeited his swoon when he showed me your handkerchief?
Aye, and greater wonders than that.
I know where you are, for my brother and your brother and my sister no sooner met but they looked. No sooner looked but they loved.
Yeah.
No sooner loved but they sighed. No sooner sighed but asked one another the reason. No sooner knew the reason but sought the remedy. And in this they have made a pair of stairs to marriage.
They shall be married tomorrow, and I will bid the Duke to the nuptial. But how bitter a thing it is to look upon happiness through another man's eyes. By so much the more shall I tomorrow be at the height of my heart's heaviness. By how much shall I think my brother happy in having what he wishes for.
Why then tomorrow I cannot serve your turn for Rosalind?
I can live no longer in thinking.
I will weary you then no longer with idle talking. Believe then if I can do strange things. If you love Rosalind so near to the gesture as your heart cries out, tomorrow when your brother marries Aliena, shall you marry her? I know into what straits of fortune she is driven, and it is not impossible to me, if it seem not inconvenient to you, to set her before your eyes tomorrow.
Speakest thou in sober meanings?
By my life, I do. You will be married tomorrow. You shall. And to Rosalind, if you will.
Yes! You have done me much ungentleness to show the letter that I had to you.
I care not if I have. It is my study to seem despiteful and ungentle to you. You are therefore followed by a faithful shepherd. Look upon him, love him, he worships you.
Good shepherd, tell this youth what 'tis to love.
It is to be all made of sighs and tears. So am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind.
And I for no woman.
To be all made of faith and service. And so am I for Phoebe.
And I for Ganymede.
And I for Rosalind!
And I for no woman.
All made of fantasy. All made of passion and all made of wishes. Alliteration, duty, and observance. All humbleness, all patience and impatience, all purity, all trial, all observance. So am I for Phoebe.
And so am I for Ganymede.
And so am I for Rosalind.
And so am I for no woman.
If this be so, then why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, then why blame you me to love you?
If this be so, why blame you me to love you?
Who do you speak to? Why blame you me to love you?
Why her that is not here and cannot hear?
Oh, pray you! No more of this. 'Tis like the howling of Irish wolves at the moon. I will help you if I can. I would love you if I could. Tomorrow meet me all together. I will marry you if I ever marry a woman, and you shall be married tomorrow. I will satisfy you if I ever satisfy man, and you shall be married tomorrow. I will content you if what pleases you contents you, and you shall be married tomorrow. As you love Rosalind, meet. As you love Phoebe, meet. And as I love no woman, I'll meet. You say you'll have me if I be willing.
That I will, should I die the hour after.
But if you do refuse, you'll give yourself to this most faithful shepherd.
So is the bargain.
You say you'll have Phoebe if she be willing.
Though to have her and death were both one thing.
So fare you well. I have left commands.
I'll not fail if I live.
Nor I.
Nor I.
Believe, Orlando, that the boy can do all this he hath promised?
I sometimes do believe, and sometimes do not. As those that fear they hope, and know they fear.
I do remember in this shepherd boy some lively touches of my daughter's favor.
My lord, the very first time I ever saw him, I thought he was a brother to your daughter.
There is sure another flood torn, and these couples are coming to the ark. Here comes a pair of very strange beasts, which in all tongues are called fools.
Greeting. And salutation to you all. I press in here, sir, amongst the rest of the country copulatives, to swear and to forswear according as marriage binds and blood breaks.
Oh my God.
A poor virgin, sir. An ill-favored thing, sir. Not mine own. A poor humor of mine, sir, to take that no man else will. Rich honesty dwells like a miser, sir, in a poor house. As your pearl in your foul oyster.
By my faith, he's very swift and sententious.
According to the fools both, sir. And such dulcet diseases.
But for the seventh cause, how did you find quarrel on the seventh cause?
Upon a lie. 7 times removed. Audrey? Bear your body more seeming, Audrey. As thus, sir, I did dislike the cut of a certain courtier's beard. He sent me word. If I said his beard was not cut well, he was in the mind it was. This is called the retort courteous. If again I sent him word it was not well cut, he would say he cut it to please himself. This is called the quip modest. If again I said him word his beard was not cut well, he disabled my judgment. This is called the reply churlish. If again it was not well cut, he would answer, I spake not true. This is called the reproof valiant. If again it was not well cut, he would say, I lied. This is called the counter-check quarrelsome. And so, to the lie circumstantial, and the lie direct.
And how oft did you say his beard was not well cut?
I durst go no further than the lie circumstantial, and he durst not give me the lie direct. And so we measured swords, and parted.
Can you nominate in order now the degrees of the lie?
Oh, sir, we quarrel in print. By the book. As you have books for good manners, I will name you the degrees. The first, the retort courteous. The second, the quip modest. The third, the reply churlish. The fourth, the reproof valiant. The fifth, the counter-check quarrelsome. The sixth, the lie with circumstance. The seventh, the lie direct. All these you may avoid, but the lie direct. And you may avoid that too with an if. I knew when 7 justices could not take up a quarrel, but when the parties were met themselves, one of them thought, but of an if, as if I said so, then you said so. And they shook hands and swore brothers. Your if is the only peacemaker. Much virtue in if.
Is this not a rare fellow, my lord? He is as good at anything and yet a fool.
Uses his folly like a stalking horse. Under the presentation of that, he shoots his way.
Then is there mirth in heaven, when earthly things may even atone together. Good youth, receive thy daughter. Hymen from heaven brought her. Yea, brought her hither, that thou mightest join her hand in his, whose heart within his bosom is.
To you I give myself, for I am yours.
There be truth in sight. You are my daughter.
To you I give myself, for I am yours.
There be truth in sight. You are my Rosalind.
If sight and shape be true, then I love it you.
Have no father. Have no husband if you be not he. Nor will I ever wed woman if you be not she.
You and you, no cross your part. You and you, a heart in heart. You to his love must accord, or have a woman to your lord. You and you are short together, as winter to foul weather.
Oh, my dear niece, daughter in no less degree.
I will not eat my word. Now thou art mine. Base thy fancy till it doth
Let me have audience for a word or two that brings these tidings to this fair assembly. Duke Frederick, hearing how every day men of great worth have resorted to this forest, addressed the mighty power which were on foot in his own conduct, purposely to take his brother here and put him to the sword. And to the skirts of the wild woods he came, where after meeting with an old religious man, after some question with him, was converted from both his enterprise and from the world. His crown, bequeathed to his banished brother, and to all their lands restored to them again, that were with him exiled. Should this be true, I do engage my life.
Welcome, Beau, to one his lands withheld, and to the other a land itself at large, a potent dukedom. First, in this forest, let us do those acts that were here well begun and well begot, and after every of this happy number shall share them good of our returned fortune, according to the measure of their sins. Meantime, forget this new fallen dignity, and fall into our rustic revelry, play, music, and you brides and bridegrooms all with measure heaped in joy to the measure's fall.
Sir, if I heard you rightly, the Duke hath put on a religious life and thrown into neglect the pompous court he hath. To him will I. Out of these convertites there's much matter to be heard and learned. You, to your former honor, I bequeath. Your patience and your virtue well deserves it. You, to a love that true faith doth merit. You, to your land, and love. And great allies. You, to a long and well-deserved bed. And you, to wrangling, for thy loving voyage is but for 2 months victualled. So to your pleasures, I am for other than dancing measures.
Stay, Jaques. Stay.
To see no pastime I, what you would have, I'll stay to know it, your abandoned cave.
Proceed. Proceed. We will begin these rites, as we do trust they'll end in true delights.
to good wine they do use good bushes, and good plays prove the better with help of good epilogues. What a case am I in that cannot serve your turn for a good epilogue, nor cannot insinuate for you on behalf of a good play. I am not furnished like a beggar, therefore to beg you will not become me. My way is to conjure you, and I'll start with the women. I charge you, O women, for the love you bear to men, to like as much of this play as please you. And I charge you, O men, for the love you bear to women. As I perceive by your simpering, none of you hates them. That between you and the women the play may please. If I were a woman, I would kiss as many of you that had beards that I liked, good complexions, and breasts that I defied not. And as many of you have, good faces